Hello students, in today's video we are going to study about cranial nerves and their functions. Now there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Now as the name suggests, these nerves originate from the brain. Now first two cranial nerves originate from the cerebrum, that is the brain, while the remaining 10 arise from the brainstem. Now these nerves mainly supply regions of head and neck. Now cranial nerves are numbered using these Roman numerals, and these nerves are either sensory or they are motor or they are mixed nerves. Now as we all know, sensory nerves carry information from body to brain. On the contrary, motor nerves carry information from brain to body, and the mixed nerves perform the function of sensory as well as motor nerves. So mixed nerves carry information two ways, brain to body and body to brain. Now let's discuss about each one of these cranial nerves one by one. Now the first nerve is the olfactory nerve. It is a sensory nerve, and this nerve originates in the nasal cavity, and it passes the impulses to the cerebrum of the brain. Now it provides the sense of smell. So olfactory nerve is responsible for the smell. Now second nerve is the optic nerve. It is also a sensory nerve. Nerve impulses originate in the retina of the eye, and impulses that pass to the cerebrum of the brain allow us to see. So the optic nerve is responsible for the vision. While impulses that reach the cerebellum of the brain, they maintain balance. They also maintain posture of the body and orient the head in the space. Now the third nerve is the oculomotor nerve. It is a motor nerve, and as the name suggests, it regulates the eye movement. Now this nerve supplies 4 of the 6 extrinsic muscles of the eyeball. It supplies the superior, medial, inferior recti and the inferior oblique muscle of the eyeball that are responsible for the movement of eye. So the eye moves upside, downside and also medially, that is in the center. So this nerve is responsible for the movement of eye. It also supplies the ciliary muscle of the eye. Now ciliary muscle of the eye alters the shape of the lens and allow the lens to focus objects so that near and far objects are seen clearly. It also supplies circular muscle of the iris, regulating the size of the pupil and thus regulate the amount of light that falls on the lens. In addition to this, oculomotor nerve also supplies the levator palpebrae muscle of the upper eyelids that make us blink our eyes. So oculomotor nerve is responsible for the movement of eye, upside, downside and medially, that is in the center, and then it makes us see near and far objects clearly. It regulates the size of pupil and also mediates the blinking of eyes. Now the fourth cranial nerve is the trochlear nerve. It is a motor nerve and it supplies extrinsic oblique muscle of the eyeball that moves the eye upwards. Now the fifth cranial nerve is the trigeminal nerve. Now this nerve has 3 branches and therefore it is termed as trigeminal nerve. It is a mixed nerve, so it has both the motor and sensory functions. Now the motor fiber stimulates muscle of chewing, allow us to chew the food, while the sensory fibers bring sensation or allow us to feel pain, then feel temperature and touch occurring in the face and the head region. Then the sixth nerve is the abducent nerve. It is a motor nerve, and this nerve supplies the lateral rectus muscle, an extrinsic muscle of the eyeball that provides the lateral sideway movement of eye away from the nose. Then the seventh cranial nerve is the facial nerve. It is also a mixed nerve, and here the motor fibers supply muscle of the face, allowing the movement of facial expressions, while the sensory fibers they bring taste sensation from the taste buds in the anterior 2/3 region of the tongue and help us taste the food. Now the eighth nerve is the vestibulocochlear nerve. Now this nerve is also known as the auditory nerve. It is a sensory nerve, and this nerve is made up of two nerves, namely the vestibular nerve and the cochlear nerve. Now this nerve carries impulses from the ear to the brain. Now the cochlear nerve allows us to hear, while the vestibular nerve is associated with the maintenance of balance and posture of the body. Now the ninth cranial nerve is the glossopharyngeal nerve. It is a motor nerve. Its motor fiber stimulate muscles of the tongue, pharynx and the parotid glands. Parotid glands are the salivary glands, and this helps us swallow food and drinks. Now its sensory fibers bring information from the posterior part of the tongue, and that makes us taste the food, and also bring impulses from tonsils and pharynx that help us to feel pain in the throat. That means responsible for the perception of the pain in the throat. Now the 10th cranial nerve is the vagus nerve. It is the most extensively distributed cranial nerve. It is a mixed nerve. Now vagus nerve, very important, is a nerve of parasympathetic nervous system, and its motor nerve fibers supply and regulate movement of pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, then gastrointestinal tract, spleen, kidneys, ureters, blood vessels of thoracic and abdominal cavities, and thus vagus nerve controls functioning of all these organs and their associated functions like digestion, respiration, urination, heartbeat, etc. And sensory nerve fibers of the vagus nerve carry sensory information from all these organs to the brain. Now the 11th cranial nerve is the accessory nerve. It is a motor nerve, and its motor nerve fibers supply sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles, allowing us to move the head, neck and the shoulders. Then the 12th cranial nerve is a hypoglossal nerve. It is a motor nerve, and its motor nerve fibers supply muscle of the tongues and that help us swallow the food, and it also helps us in speaking. So this is all about the cranial nerves and their functions. If you find the video useful, kindly like, subscribe and share this video. Thanks for watching this video.